of predators: Indian foxes, hyenas, and the king of them all, an animal that once rivaled the tiger. At the far southern edge of the desert, in Gujarat's Gir forest, lives a predator normally associated with Africa. This parched forest is at its most dangerous in the summer, when one of the world's most formidable predators has youngsters to feed. Life-saving water sources become death traps. This is lion country. Females have cubs during the hottest months of the year, when prey is forced to visit shrinking waterholes, and it's easier to make a kill. Indian lions can hunt successfully alone, using the cover of the trees to get within striking distance. Unlike their African cousins, Indian lions have a thinner mane and a long line of skin running down their belly. The Gir forest is the last stronghold of lions which once roamed all over Europe, Asia, and India. After a century of big game hunting, they were at the brink of extinction. In 1900, there were just 20 lions left. Now there are around 500. They owe their survival to the Maldari herdsmen, who gave up their ancestral homelands to create a lion reserve. With nothing but thorn fences for protection, the Maldaris' tolerance for big cats is remarkable. The Maldaris are Hindus and consider the lion sacred. They worship the man-lion, Narasimha, a supreme god. Even though lions are venturing outside the reserve, the Maldari continue to tolerate their dangerous neighbor. When the oppressive summer heat is at its peak, it's too hot to move. Temperatures soar to 50 degrees centigrade. Without a drop of rain, the desert is gripped by drought. The region's capital city, Jaipur, feels the effects of food and water shortages. The temple troop is forced downtown in search of something to eat. Venerated monkeys are reduced to rummaging through rubbish for scraps. They're thirsty too, but the city taps are padlocked. Water supplies are drying out, even at the temple. But the resident troop still has one precious pool left. At this time of year, they're permanently on guard. Given half a chance, neighboring troops will steal their prime territory. In macaque society, you have to defend your home if you want to keep it. The temple troop has lived here in luxury for generations. It's the main reason so many have survived. But their rivals are closing in. They'll do almost anything to claim the temple and its priceless water supplies. The temple troop forms a defensive wall. But desperation is a powerful driving force. The intruders take their chance and attack. They break the temple troops' defensive line. Now anything's possible. It's hard to know who's who until the rival's dominant male makes his move. He attacks the alpha female. It's a big mistake. Her family leaps to her defense. The big male turns tail and flees. His troop follows suit. Their attack crumbles. The macaques cling on to the temple. But one female has suffered a terrible loss. Caught up in the fighting, her baby has died. A solemn mood settles over the whole family. They know something is wrong. It's impossible to know what the mother is thinking, but she carries her baby around for hours before finally letting go. It's a confusing time for the youngsters. And there'll be more deaths if the rains don't arrive soon. If they don't get enough food and water, female macaques are sometimes forced to abandon their babies. For now, all they can do is watch and wait. After 10 months of drought, the baking desert is rock hard. Suddenly, a change in the air. The monsoon stirs. Low pressure sucks moisture-laden air from the Indian Ocean towards the Himalayas. As it rises and cools, heavy storm clouds, charged with electricity, finally release what's longed for. The monsoon transforms the city. A year's rain falls in a matter of hours. It may be a lifesaver, but the deluge is a shock to some of Jaipur's residents. It's the same scene all over the Thar. But the mood is changing. The city streets flow like rivers. Precious water is everywhere. This is a time for celebration. The monsoon is vital to all life here. Within days, the desert is transformed. Soils become fertile. Crops regrow. Jaipur is quick to reap the benefits. Fresh food and water stocks are replenished. Pilgrims return to the monkey temple, and now they have plenty to share. The temple troop females will not abandon their babies. And there are new faces in the crowd. At last, the family has time to groom and renew old friendships. For now, the macaques can relax, but survival in this harsh desert will always be a struggle. And with India's population booming and global temperatures rising, life can only get harder. The spiritual relationships that unite the Thar's human and animal inhabitants will increasingly shape their future in the world's most crowded desert. The Thar Desert, so harsh, yet so full of life. Where animals and people have always needed each other. Competition is fierce, and the fight for survival can be desperate. But on these sacred sands, a spirit of compassion saves lives. The Thar is home to more creatures than any other desert in the world, because its people have a long tradition of respect for nature.